Finding love in this new age is very difficult because most of us just want to stay home. I've actually seen a study, totally unrelated, of where Gen Z are not consuming alcohol. It's actually a worrying thing. Like alcohol production companies are like, wow, what are we going to do? Because Gen Z are just not consuming alcohol like millennials and Gen Y before them. And most people just want to stay at home and chill because at the end of the day, home is the best place to be. So now, if you're always inside the house, a huge majority of people who are actually working right now are working remotely. That's actually even the dream job. Work remotely, be paid in dollars. So you're always in the house. If you go out, maybe the building is on fire, but you're still expecting to find love. And this is where online dating comes in because, you can't be living in your house alone. You need to actually find love. But as we are getting into online dating, there are also the dangers of these platforms. As a person whose pictures have been used to scam people, imagine people using my pictures on dating sites, talking to men, swindling money out of them. Those poor souls, being swindled out of their hard-earned money. There are those dangers. You can be scammed, you can be catfished.
Or, God forbid, John Matara.
Exactly. You meet people, you don't know someone. People can lie about who they are online. You meet somebody and they're a serial killer. As in, Ted Bundy would have had a time.
He really would.
In this day and age. So now, how do you navigate these spaces and just make sure you're actually talking to the real person? Some online platforms actually do background searches and they actually verify your profile. So I think that's one of the things you can look out for. Is this person verified by the app? Have they gone through screening? And I think for that you'd have actually to go for the app, so you have to pay for a subscription or something. So yeah, just cough up that extra money if you actually want to date a genuine person.
Another thing I've seen a lot with these catfish stories is that their profile picture is never too visible. Like you can't see their face. They're either wearing a cap that's covering all the way. They're either facing back and you can't really see them. And most of the profile pictures have like heavy filters, so you can't even tell, is this person who they are they not? And a lot of other things like that. Look, a person who's genuinely out here trying to date will probably present their most best self to the profile, right? I will showcase my assets. I will showcase my best self. I will show my face straight so you can see how beautiful I am. Excuse me? I will show you my hair. You, human or otherwise. I will look clear and clean and natural on pictures, because why? I am trying to make sure that people actually know who I am. Whenever you see these funny people who either they've cropped someone out of the picture, it's probably their wife. They have a fish in front of them. Yeah, are you going to go fishing? Surely, all the time.
So they're showing you the outdoors.
No. They have a puppy covering half their face. Are you dating the puppy or are you dating them? Like, make sure your picture is presentable and is visible. Their name is legible. If they're not that, then just leave it. Achana tunayo, because now you don't know who you're meeting. Guy, they could have hidden their face. Kumbe is ni forehead yetu ya East Africa imefika inatoka hapa inafika they're balding, and that's not your type. Like, just really present your best self and your most natural self on your profiles, and also try and match with people like that.
And also just take time to read their profile. Sometimes we're just overwhelmed by the pictures, because if I'm getting on a dating site, I'm going to put my best foot forward. I'm going to take my best pictures, the ones I'm showing my muscles, the ones I'm in a bikini. Those are the pictures, because you're there for one thing. Either you're going for a hookup or you're actually looking for love. Good for you. But please take time to read the bios, because I realized some people, yes, they may plump their CV a little bit, but some people are actually very clear about what they're looking for. So they could say, I'm looking for a one-time thing. I'm looking to just have fun.
Sugar baby looking for a sugar daddy. Sugar daddy looking for a sugar baby.
Exactly. I'm allergic to relationships. I'm looking for a mother. I'm looking for a father. So please read the bios. Don't just be impressed by the pictures. Take time. And if possible, take the name, go and search for it. do your research right away, become an investigator. Just do your due diligence before you meet somebody.
Another thing is, finally you meet them, you've done your due diligence, and now you're excited, you're meeting for the first date. But you see them, ni kama hizi taxi zenye zinakuja, it's the wrong number plate, it is the wrong driver. Are you just going to enter that car? Are you mad? Are you mad? You can't. The same way you wouldn't get into a cab if the profile picture of the driver is not the same and the number plate is not the same. It's the same way you will exit that chat. When the profile picture of the person you were just chatting to, yeah, on social media, on online dating, shows up and it's not them. You look, you verify. You're like, okay, the nose is the same. All right, cool, let's go. Otherwise, you probably are going to get yourself in a lot of trouble, especially when you convince yourself or they convince you that, no, I was just younger then. No, I was just, you know, smaller then.
A picture from 5 years ago.
Yeah, that's actually my cousin who... If they can convince you that we are going on a date and yet they're not the same person that you saw in the picture, they can convince you of a lot more, and that's exactly what scammers do. They convince you with small things. Once they see you compromising on the first try, guess what? You about to get scammed heavy.
But honestly, in whose hands? In whose hands are we safe? Because, you know, sometimes you put your faith in these online platforms and then you realize that there are actually restaurants that are using AI to manipulate dating profiles. I actually saw a horror story over this girl got to know somebody through a dating site.
Yep.
And they've been talking. It's, you know, banter, chemistry is there, and then they're going to finally meet. And even the pictures they're exchanging, they look nice. Even when they FaceTime, it's all good. It's a real person. So they finally get to meet at the date. Let's meet at this and this restaurant at 8 p.m. She gets to the restaurant 8:30. 8:40, 8:45, this person is not showing up. And then they send a text, hey, sorry, I couldn't come, something came up, blah, 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 blah. And then she looks around and she realizes it's only single women in these restaurants. Turns out restaurants are using AIs to mimic a person. And then when you're dumped, or rather when you stood up at a date, you actually have to buy something.
No, you end up saying, might as well eat something.
Yes.
And so basically, the restaurant is making money, and yet they just use
See, that is wickedness.
It started in India, but now it's spreading everywhere.
That is wickedness.
Imagine Kenyan restaurants' ideas.
Me, I'm just imagining the waiter just laughing because they know exactly what's going on. So when your date is like, oh, can I interest you in some wine? Can I interest you in some bitings? They know exactly what they're doing. It is so wicked out here.
It's wild. It really is. Another thing with dating, especially online dating, is we all have lives. We all have some level of baggage, right? For instance, if you are a single dad and you're putting yourself out there and you want to date, I think it's important for you to actually say that you have children, right? If you're just fresh out of a divorce, please make sure you state that. It's very important for the other person to know what they're getting themselves into, because ultimately, once they start hiding this information, and then you've accepted them, you started dating them, 2 months in, they're like, oh, by the way, my kids are coming over. What are you saying your kids are coming over? Some people do not want children, so why are you forcing issues, you know? Let's make it easy for people to make the right decisions. And I personally am a strong believer in presenting the most honest and the most honest version of yourself to any date, because if they don't like that honest version of you, if they don't like that real version of you, there's no point of wasting time for each other. Let's not waste 6 months and then later on you start to reveal your true self and they're like, yeah, that's not for me. Just be you, and ultimately you will find the you that you're looking for, and you will be found by the person who's looking for a you out there.
Exactly. And even when you meet this person, if they happen to make very odd requests, it's okay to leave. Just leave. Make sure when you're meeting in a public area, so that even when they're texting you and you're getting to know each other and they're like, send me pictures of your feet, you're like, sir, are you a witchcraft man? Because if they make you feel uncomfortable, kindly end conversation with them. But even as you're doing this, just make sure you don't divulge too much information about you, about yourself. Yes, you're getting to know each other, but maybe withhold exactly where you live, door number, floor number, house number. Just withhold some of these things that are private to you. Because if things go sour, how many stories have we heard of stalkers showing up at this girl's
Yep.
house because she said no, because she stopped talking to them, because she ghosted them? Listen, be very careful about your information, and if they make you uncomfortable, you have the ability to dip. You can just delete the app, and that's all.
Yeah, and also just listen to people, because sometimes they're very okay. They're, of course, they're introverted people who will not necessarily be as vocal about the things that they've mentioned before, the passions that they have before. Their bio could have been yo fire. Kumbe mtu wako anajua kitu ataandika akaita chat GPT. So my point is, if someone isn't presenting the most passionate self to you, I think it's important for you to realize that maybe they're not that deep. Sometimes you try and build something up to what it's not. Sometimes you try and make someone what they're not. The chats you've been having online have been really smooth. There's been chemistry. You've had banter. You've kikied quite a bit. However, you meet them in person and it's dry. It's just boring. It's kind of like on the first date, the second date. Yeah, just believe what you see. Don't start saying things like, no, but when we chat, our chats are so fun. Like, we have so much fun on the... How do you know that they're not sitting with someone and that person is helping them send these messages? What you are presented with is what you take it for face value, right? If someone is stinky the first time you meet them, they probably they're not going to smell any better anytime soon unless you buy them perfume. If someone is disheveled and looks funny, they're probably not gonna. This is your first date and they look disheveled and funny and I don't know. They just look funky, like they didn't take a shower or something. It's important. It's important for you to understand that this is how they present themselves on day 1, which means day 50 is probably gonna get worse. So please be keen on stuff like that.
And I think we've covered all of them. I just don't know how else to tell you. Just be vigilant.
Yep.
We have heard the story of Starlet Wahoo. We don't know exactly how they met, but we're assuming it was an online thing.
Yeah, from the stories.
Yeah, just be vigilant. Don't give information about yourself. Be cautious. Trust your instincts most of all. And if you think you're being catfished, then you probably are. And do your due diligence. Don't come up to me and say I sent you fare. Me. Do I look like I need fare? Anyway, I won't get into that. I can see your messages coming in, and there's this special request from Alex. He has been a long time watcher, and he says, "Hello, beautiful ladies. I am Alex, and I'm enjoying the show. Please, soma yangu leo." Alex, nimesoma yako leo. Hello.
Chide, we see you as well. Hey, what's up? Saying, watching from Pika, the show is on fire. We love it, love to see it. We are loving that we are back and you are back as well. Don't forget the number is always 0770-729-366. And I think my parting shot with regard to this particular conversation of dating online is remember not to post when you are at a particular place. And this is me telling you as I am telling myself, because I have a problem. Usually, like, I will post in real time. You will catch me where I said I was. If I said I am in the middle of Grogon, I'm probably gonna be still at Grogon. So I think it's important for you not to give real-time information about where you are at all times, because then it becomes easy for people to, like, see the pattern. Yeah, like, oh, okay, so every week she usually is at such and such place at such and such a time doing for such and such a period of time. I think it's very important for you to reduce the amount of timelines that you give people to predict your moves, right?
Stay dangerous. Yeah, be unpredictable. But I'm still stuck with a mental image of Kathomi at Grogon. I don't know about you, but that's so unnatural. It's not giving what it's supposed to.
Like, I've been to where would I even know that name from?
Labda ulisikia person like, oh, that's such an interesting exotic name. My name is Turi Faye, and I'll see you tomorrow.
My name is Kathomi. Happy New Year. Good to see you. Let's chat more tomorrow.